Port commissioners agree at the end of April to sell the Hannell Mill property in Odell. Turns out, Amazon was willing to pay $3.4 million for it. Now comes the county planning reviews. Here's the discussion from the port back on April 29th.
We've got here the decision on the Odell properties. And I want to preface this with all commissioners should have received the prior Eco Northwest ports strategy on real estate, and everyone has an opportunity to review that. So I think that the main thing that we need to decide is, does this development option at Lower Hannell Mill check the boxes of this? Well, I guess the first thing is do we want to adopt or do we want to say that the real estate strategy is how we want to move forward? If it is, does the Lower Hannell Mill check off the boxes to trigger that real estate strategy? Is that correct, Kevin?
Yep, that's exactly right. We had the port has been looking at doing some storage units out there. We did get a good response that the entire parcel will not need to be asphalted. It just needs to be dust free, but that any pre-application meetings with the county are 5 to 6 months out. And so, Jeff Renard is continuing to work on that, but this policy is in place, and so I did feel compelled to bring that to your attention. I've talked to Commissioner Shepard about the funds from a sale here could go to jumpstart the roundabout. Those funds could also be placed into the local government investment pool at 5%, and that could be an endowment for offsetting parks costs. So there's also, what do you use with the proceeds upon a sale? So that's the main reason for bringing this to you, is just to see. I think it is available for sale. I think the policy does allow for that. So it's just a question on whether the commission would like to do that, proceed with the storage units, and if you do want to sell it, what should those proceeds be used towards?
Okay, I'd like to start with the longest standing commissioner and get his thoughts, because he was here during the real estate policy and kind of that transition of the commission moving towards a monopoly style of hold all property, monopoly board game, that is. So Commissioner Shepard, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, policy, and it wasn't really written policy. So policy, the way the board operated, and written policy, we're not going to go finding a policy on a lot of this, but as long as I've been on the commission, Lower Hannell property was open for sale and commissions are open for sale. But the numbers never, there were some minor conversations, but never numbers that came back that really moved the needle. Waterfront property, absolutely not. But as far as Lower Hannell is concerned, that's what we're talking about. There's been a big sign out there that said lost for sale for years. It just went away in the last 12 or so months, or whenever. It's not there anymore. But there always was, because I was actively, let's see if we can do something. So if, in my opinion, on that property, if an offer comes along that is, advantageous to the port or significant enough that we need to look at it, I'm fine with being open to that kind of a sale. If we were to do something like that and we were to decide, okay, should we use the money for infrastructure development or put in some investment at 5% a year and get 150 grand, I would immediately probably recommend putting it into infrastructure, because the first thing that someone develops down on the waterfront is going to bring you more than that. And the second thing is now a profit. And we have a whole bunch more things we can develop down there if the infrastructure is done. So that conversation is easy. The harder one is, do you want to sell something? So while I would probably shy away from being interested in selling, I'm not talking about developing, but selling land on the waterfront, I'm open to it if it's advantageous for the people of this community and for this port to look at Lower Hannell. So.
Okay, and then that would be Commissioner Fox. Your thoughts and ideas?
The question that I have, and I know there's a couple of companies, I guess, interested in the lots. Are we talking about all 4 lots or are we talking 3 lots? And do we want to establish do we even want to put an RV storage area up there? And if the answer is no, and we don't have any other business that could make us money, maybe it's okay to sell all 4 lots if somebody wants all 4 lots. So do we know what the marketing situation is? Does these entities want all 4?
So the proposal that was out there was for the entire 12 acres. But if the and Ben, Commissioner Shepard's correct, the for sale lease signs are down. I don't know when they came down. But if the commission did want to pursue this, we would go back, put the for sale signs up. That would be a motion of the commission. And then we just take a look at the offers that come through and we bring them to you in executive session. It could be for all 4, it could be for 1, or a mixture of both.
Okay, Heather and Tor, you guys get to duke it out for who's next.
I'll go.
I thought Heather said she was going, but maybe not.
Heather, you're on mute.
I'll go ahead and go.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I muted myself.
That's okay.
Go ahead, Tor.
Okay. So I read over the 2018 real estate strategy report. I appreciate the work that was done at that time. And the way that it was assessed, I think, is a very sensible one. And the lower Hannell Mill sites were identified as sell. And that assessment makes sense in light of everything I've seen since I've been on the commission. We had, what was it, Business Oregon, or I think, that did an assessment of what the light industrial demand was at that site, which was pretty much not. And then we have, struggled to find something that we can do there that will be beneficial. I'm not against storage. I think that's a reasonable option to consider, but it's not exactly a job creator. So for me, all the criteria line up, and I think that the real estate policy looks good, and I think that we should consider any offers that we receive for that property.
All right, Heather, you're up.
Okay. So the number one thing under the policy consideration was balanced financial return with other economic development objectives. So it's kind of, I feel like if we just hold on to it and we don't do anything with it, we're not getting any financial return and we're not helping with economic development. So if we're just going to sit on it, I think we should give somebody the opportunity to do something with it. If we were gung ho to go forward with the storage and it made sense and we're going to make money to put into other areas to help support, I don't know, the waterfront and everything else that needs support, that makes sense. But I feel like we just keep sitting on it and it's not doing anything for us and it's not doing anything for our constituents or potential development objectives.
Great. Thank you, everybody. My chime in is I do agree with everyone. We have to look at job creation. Who's going to create the best jobs? We have to look at when something's sitting, it's actually losing money instead of working and making money. So it sounds to me, and Kevin, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds to me that we have a clear direction to move forward in entertaining offers for Lower Hannell Mill.
Could somebody make a motion for the record, please?
I'll make a motion. I move that we continue with the 2018 real estate strategy assessment and being guided by that, and that we consider offers to purchase on the Lower Hannibal Mill sites.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
I,
I think Ben's iPad might have died.
Ben's a yes, I think.
I think I heard five ayes.
Okay,
for the
perfect.
record.
Ayes. Okay.
So Commissioner Chapman, just do you want to talk about where these proceeds should go, or do you want to put that off for a different meeting or time?
I mean, I think that it kind of depends upon what comes in. If it's for a full thing, if it's, what are we talking about here? It might guide our conversation on what is the best way to put that money to work for us. But I do think that we all agree with Ben that infrastructure is incredibly important and probably should be a priority. But I would want to entertain that as an offer came in.
Yeah, let's get the place sold first. Then we'll spend the money.
All right. Well, it sounds like there's consensus to not tackle that topic right now. Staff will get going, put the signs up, and if we get any offers, we'll bring those to you. Those will be reviewed in executive session.
Thank you, everybody. Is that all?
That's all from staff.
All right, everyone adjourned.